I hope you're doing well. It's now nearly 20 to 10 on the 18th of the 4th, 2020. This is the third of 3 recordings on this issue of something needs to be done. I've done number 1, which is problem, then number 2, which is reaction, and this one is now solution. All the possible solutions, but it'd be called solution. I said before in previous ones that the government has this idea of problem, reaction, solution, where they create the problem, they wait for a reaction, then it gives them the right to do what they wanted to do in the first place. But this isn't that. This is just the best way to explain this situation. So, right, okay. Solution number 1 would be to just allow things to continue as they are. With this virus being the situation, obviously I can't just allow this to continue because me getting the virus or the dogs getting the virus is just unacceptable to get it from these people, because they're too, whether it's lazy, whether it's arrogant, whether it's evil or twisted, whatever it is, they're too one of those things to pick up the cigarette butts. And we're talking, pick it up. They've got bins indoors. They can put it in the bin indoors. Each butt, when she has a cigarette, you can just put the butt in the bin indoors. You can put the butt in the bin outside, which is just 18 steps through the bin, back to get indoors. 18 steps. Not exactly difficult, is it? Really. So as I say, that's why when I think about it, it just. You're dealing with people who either are sticking 2 fingers up at you all the time, or who are just too bloody stupid to realise what they're doing and the impact of what they're doing. It's one or the other, as I say. Which one? I don't know. You can't look at the situation and say there's any excuse for it at all. Not at all. Because it's been going on for 10 months. It's not because my plastic's been fell over, because that was only about 4 months ago. And it was happening a long time before then. It's not acceptable in any way, shape or form. I mean, even to treat someone that way normally is just unacceptable. It's just wrong. You're just expecting to get a good kicking if you behave in that way. Well, you really are. I mean, so just allow everything to continue? No, not really. I don't think that is a wise situation, as I say, and it will eventually end up in a massive confrontation between me and him. As I say, I have to assume, with regards to their attitude, that he thinks that he can beat me in a fight. And so I have to assume that he's dangerous. And so any confrontation, I have to be either prepared to die or prepared to do that to him. One or the other. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Because if someone has had that attitude, I mean, also you're looking from the point of view that there's all that anger, even over this situation, just over this situation. As I said earlier, I've done this video 10 times, had to delete the videos every time because of the degree of anger over this. So there's a lot of anger in there. The chances that that's going to come out, of course it is. If there's a confrontation, the chances that all that anger is just going to explode onto him, there's a very good chance of that, I mean, there's always a chance when you get into a confrontation with someone, a fight, there's always a chance that you hit someone, they could die. Or you hit someone and it has no impact at all. The 2 things that can happen. Especially if rage comes into it. And if you hit them and nothing happens, you choose other things. You do something else. Because, as I say, if you see it as this is you or them, you choose whatever other thing is there to your possibility to use. And there's things there to use, of course there is. You can always, as I say, I'm not a complete idiot. I'm not an absolute genius, but I'm not a complete idiot. I can look around me, and in a couple of seconds, I can see a number of things that I can pick up and use if I need to in a fight. Wherever I am, if there's even the slightest bit of trouble, slightest bit of attitude, I'm like, right, okay, I can use that. I can do this. I can trip the person over, and then I can put my foot in the person's neck and stand on their neck. Any movement from them, my foot slips and I crush their windpipe. All these things are things that I've weighed up in the past. If there's any issue, I can do that. Especially someone bigger, use their weight against them. Use their size and their weight against them. These are all things that you figure out as you grow older. Most of my life I wasn't a Christian, so I figured out all this stuff. I wasn't exactly much of a fighter, but I was always small, so I needed to be wise. I say, before God told me 10 years ago about not to let people walk all over me, I've had people attack me, and I didn't do anything. They didn't hurt me. I didn't see them as a danger. I got kicked in the head by someone, punched in the face as well by the same person. It didn't hurt me at all. No impact. I didn't feel threatened in that situation. This was supposed to be a karate expert, and he was pretty poor. He didn't really know what he was doing. So I didn't need to, but I knew even at that point in time, if he goes to kick me again, simple, grab his leg, snap his knee, and then just pull down, and you grab his leg, that snaps his knee. There you go. Now from that, he's on the floor. Do whatever you want to him there. He's not going to try and kick you again, is he? He's got a broken knee. Or whatever, disjointed knee, whatever it is. But you've caused him incredible pain, and it's quite easy to do. If I felt threatened in that situation with that person, which was years ago, then that's what I would have done. I'd have encouraged him to try and kick me again, and right, there you go, catch, bang, snap. There you go. What do you want to do now? So it's like, no, that's not a good idea. Going down that road, no, not at all. That's a bad idea, to say the least. So I don't want to go down that road, because I don't think that's sensible. And this is why something has to be done. So, option one is, if I have to pick up their shit, then they should have to pick up the shit for my dogs. So I get my dogs overfed. When they've got diarrhea, make them poo right in front of the door to their shed that they go through to get to their garden. Pretty soon they're going to start picking up their cigarette butts. Oh yeah. Yep. Pretty soon they're going to realise that they're not going to win this one. Problem is, I can't really do that until October now, because now we're in a situation for the next few months. We're going to have better daylight later on, so give it a few months' time, it'll be daylight at 11 o'clock at night. So there's no point doing it because they'll see it. So you can't do it until it gets darker. So it's really October at the earliest, which is possible to do, because if there's puppies in October, born in October, they won't be out in the garden until November. So therefore, possible that that can be done before November, and that could achieve its purpose. But no, because again, I could have got coronavirus badly from one of the cigarettes before then. And so, no, that is not an option, really. Option number two would be to use the attack dogs online, or option number three, sorry, would be to use the attack dogs online. We see examples of these people when they go after celebrities and companies. When someone says a remark that's against women, or a remark that's against homosexuals or anything like that, they come and they attack them. And they attack them in massive numbers. They destroy people's careers, and they get people fired. So, find out who these people are. Around about this situation with the virus, obviously tell them that a nurse, somebody who claims to be a nurse, is doing this, is having such disregard for human life, having such disregard for puppies, that has this disgusting nature of thinking that other people should clean up after their shit. is so incredibly disrespectful to another human being, and I think they would love it. I mean, the man, he's involved with fire prevention and stuff like that, so also an area of that should be a concern, caring sort of employer. So his employer would be also a good target for this, that sort of attack. Have these attack dogs go after their jobs, basically go after the employers so they get the sack, because that's what these attack dogs are really good at doing. So that's an option. Use them. But again, that's going to take some time. You've got to get to know who these people are. So yeah, that is not necessarily a good option for that reason. It could take time. It's a bit hit and miss. So it's a third option. I mean, in a way, that would be a good option, and that would be a situation of a bit of a laugh in the end, because they made a point the other day of saying, because in the video I said about that I deleted about difficult neighbours, I said about that one option may be to force them to leave. And they were really cocky. You can't force us to leave. You can't do anything to force us to leave. Really? Option number 3 would force you to leave. If you got sacked from your jobs, both of you wouldn't have any money to pay the rent. You would have to claim benefit, and I'm pretty sure the landlord won't accept that. So you would have to leave. You'd be given notice to leave. Well, let's say whether that's an option, I don't know. The final option is, because the first 3 are really from a worldly point of view, from a humanist point of view, human reaction sort of thing. So I thought, okay, from a Christian point of view, okay, what would the Lord do in this situation? What would Yeshua, or Jesus as he's known as, would do in this situation? First of all, you got someone being disgusting and disrespectful for months and months and months and months, and then we have a virus that we know can kill people, and they can possibly kill animals, and they're still doing it, even though they've been asked nicely not to. They're still doing it. They still have no respect for you, no respect for your animals, or for puppies, etc., etc. What would he do? Now, when I prayed about that, what I got from that is he would curse him with the virus. He would say, okay, you don't respect this virus. Let's see, if you have the virus and one of you dies from it, the one who's actually responsible for this, if that person dies from the coronavirus, would you respect it a bit more? Would you still be willing to risk your neighbours or your neighbour getting the virus from your disgusting behaviour and your disgusting attitude? So that is the 4th option. And I think, to be honest, that is the only option available, because in short term, that option could be fulfilled within a 2-week period. That option doesn't need to take months and months and months and months and months to happen. Not at all. Well, yeah. So there you go. They are the possible solutions. There are 4 options, really. 3 of them are not viable. One of them is the most viable and the most just, really, of them. Yeah. We're talking about people that are happy to risk, with the knowledge that they are risking me getting the virus, or are happy at the knowledge of risking the puppies to get the virus. Of course, they will now tell you, as a matter of fact, point about the past, that they didn't have the virus. Yeah, we know that now, folks. Did you know it then? Doesn't matter what you know now. Now you know you didn't have it then, so you weren't really risking the puppies. Actually, you were, because at the time you didn't know. And the fact of the matter is, you didn't care. So, yeah. So with that being the case, it is a situation where you've then got to say, right, okay. Yeah. What is the best, most effective, and righteous solution to this? And if I'm dealing with this from a Christian point of view, there is only one Christian option. The option of just, let it roll off your back. You can't do that. Nobody should be expected to put up with that crap. As I say, normally without a virus, then yeah, maybe you can say that people should be expected. But talking about from a Christian point of view, there was a pastor who was lackadaisical, to say the least, about this virus, and he was telling people that they don't need to abide by the 2-meter rule because we have God to protect us. He got the virus and he died of it. He was on a ventilator and the virus killed him. So, as a Christian, you still shouldn't be risking getting the virus. And anyone who's happy to, play games with it and play games with your life potentially, that person is a severe threat. A severe threat. And that threat needs to be neutralized, simple as that. In one way or the other. Really is simple, it's not overly complicated. Communication would be an option if it hadn't been tried for the last 10 months. And always been met with, we dealt with, and then nothing dealt with, and then using the plastics bin as the excuse for continuing to do that. For continuing to not actually clean the cigarette butts up. I did the video the other day, and I took the photos the other day that you can now see. I then cleaned those cigarettes up. There's no more down there, do they? They have no intention to stop doing this at all. No intention. I mean, you can take it how you want, and people can judge it how they want. But when you put yourself in that situation, if you've already had 5-6 months of it, and then this virus comes, and they're still doing the same thing, still doing it. I mean, it's not just a case where there's no respect for you, there's no respect for your life. And with people like that, why should anyone mourn if they die? Why should anyone care? If that's who they are, then why should anyone care? I don't know necessarily if that's who they are. That's who they've been to me. I can't judge it any differently to that. That's who they've been to me, so I can only judge it in that way. Rightly or wrongly, unfairly or not. They certainly can't accuse me of being unfair and judge them in that way, because you can only see people how they've shown you. That's all you can do. You can't do more than that. As I said earlier in the previous one, if I had a girlfriend who was doing that, we wouldn't be together. We wouldn't be together. If she kept on doing it, that'd be it. I couldn't marry someone who had that sort of attitude, disrespectful and disgusting attitude. I couldn't have anything to do with that person. I wouldn't care if that was the most gorgeous looking woman in the world, or if that was the woman who is the best at sex in the world ever. I couldn't have anything to do with them, because you've got to deal with all the fallout from that. And why should you as a man have to deal with all that crap because of a woman? I don't get it. Oh, because I love her. No. Really? Oh, does that mean that she should deal with crap because of your situation? Do you really think she'd deal with that? Would she deal with having women attack her because of things that you've been doing? I don't think so. I don't think she would. No, I think within no time at all, if it looked as if that was going to happen, she would tell you to buck your ideas up of why she's gone. I would do the same. I couldn't put up with that, not in any way, shape, or form, because it's like, well, what the heck do you think you're doing? But yeah, as I say, I don't know who's to blame. I mean, he could be the one egging her on, getting her to do that. I don't know. As I say, that's why, yeah, the one responsible should be the one who gets the virus and doesn't make it. I don't know which one it is. Don't particularly care which one it is. I really don't care. I don't particularly care about the two of them. I really don't. As I said, I wish that they hadn't got a pup from me, because in the end, yeah, I'd rather the pups went with people who weren't going to risk their own lives to do something stupid, to do something disrespectful and disgusting. I mean, that to me is moronic. And yeah, I didn't get the impression when they first moved in that they were that way, but they seem to be. They seem to be willing to face whatever consequences and lose whatever they have to lose, just so they can keep on just dropping cigarettes on the floor and not bother to clean them up. And to me, that is insane. But that's the point. When you're dealing with insane people, you have to acknowledge that that insane person is bloody dangerous. Really dangerous to you. That's why I say option one is not an option, because there is a degree of insanity here. And when you're dealing with someone insane, yeah, you've got to, if a nutcase attacks you, you've got to be willing to end that person quickly, because you don't know what the heck they're going to do to you. You really don't. You don't know what they're capable of doing, because, put it this way, if someone's capable of doing this sort of stuff, capable of basically sticking two fingers up to you for 10 months, basically challenging you to a fight, what are they capable of doing in a fight? That's the thing, isn't it? Really. If it comes to that, no. So you have to just understand that that's the situation. Understand they're in their 30s, you're 50s, so therefore you've got a massive age disadvantage. So you've got a weight disadvantage, age disadvantage, height disadvantage, and nutcase disadvantage. So with all that, you've got to then be willing to rage, and to rage out to its max, because you're facing so many different disadvantages here that unless you're, yeah, anyway, let's not go into that anymore. There's no point there. That's option one. As I say, I hope option one is not an option, because that's a bad option all around for everyone concerned. So there you go. That's the situation as it is. There's not a lot more to it, really. 4 options, and as I say, right now, 4 options. There was only 3 yesterday, so the last option is one that only come around today. That only come into my understanding today. So, tomorrow, let's say there might be 1 or 2 more options available. I don't know. If there is, I'll share that. But, well, no, I probably won't, actually. I think that's enough done on this. And also, is it a case where, if someone's willing to continue doing that, is it wise to warn them of what the the outcome of that will be? Probably not. So, yeah. Oh, there you go. So that was done. Problem, reaction, and no solution. So I can't do anything about the problem. That's something that they can fix. I can't fix it. The reactions, well, they've been had. I've reacted, they've reacted. Can't do anything about them right now. So really, this one is the one where there are options available as to what can be done. But something has to be done, one way or the other. Something has to be done. I don't know how I put it. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, I can't really say anything more about the situation right now. I've not made videos for the last couple of days because this has been the situation that's been on my mind predominantly for the last 3 days. So I've been trying to do videos about this, and I've deleted every single one of them because anger has come in now. As you see in the reaction one, anger came in a little bit, and there was a bit of anger in there. In this one, there's been a bit of anger. So yeah, I understood that I had to do it in 3 parts because 3 parts was probably the right way to do it. And I'm going to upload them all pretty much together, with the first one first and the second one then the third. So yeah, right. Well, you take care. I may speak to you soon. Time will tell. If there's something else to give about any subject, I will give it. But I'm not sure. I mean, there hasn't really been anything from a Christian point of view for a while. I mean, there was a situation of the pastor in America who, yeah, said, "Don't worry about the 2 meter rule. We've got God who then died of coronavirus because he disobeyed the 2 meter rule." Yeah, that was something that I could have done one about. There's been other things. Yeah, even the subject of love one another. That's one I've got to do a video about, and even this issue. Love one another is not talking about loving non-Christians, really. It's talking about with Christians. But as I said, with Christians, you get complete a-holes who are Christians, and you've got to love them. So you've got people that are Christians behave like the people upstairs. And with them, you've got to find a way to love them, and that's really difficult. But biblically, we're told to love one another, and so that's a video that needs to be done at some point to go over that issue, because obviously that's a difficult one to do when you're faced with the reality of the Christian that you've got to love. You know, I've had arguments with people that are Christians, but we've always rested at the point that, you know, you're my brother, so I love you for that reason. I don't agree with you necessarily, but I love you. That's it. You're just going to do that, really. So yeah, that's maybe one that I do in the next couple of days. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know. Right, you take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon.